In our news bulletin for this evening, an emergency medical evacuation over the weekend arrived to take Honourable Premier Takata to New Zealand. The new Legislative Assembly carried a motion for government to assist a family who lost their home in a recent fire. The Niue Ridge to Reef project has been given the green light to proceed. Niue Health Department highlights the importance of immunization as part of week-long awareness activities. ANZAC Commemorations in Niue acknowledge the sacrifice made by Niuean soldiers in World War efforts. The first ever Niue Junior Rockman generated more interest than initially anticipated. Premier Takata was medevaced to New Zealand early on Saturday morning for further medical assistance. In a statement issued yesterday, the acting Premier Honourable Poto Asipili confirmed that the Premier was accompanied by his wife, Mrs. Fifi Tatalangi, via an air ambulance. The Premier has been unwell in recent times, and the decision for a medevac was made by the Niue Hospital Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Eddie Akawala, in order for the Premier to be properly assessed by specialists and with full medical testing facilities available. He was admitted to hospital on arrival, where he has been kept under observation, but sources say that Premier's condition is stable and continues to improve. He was discharged from hospital yesterday to make a full recovery. Premier and Mrs. Talangi also wish to extend their gratitude to family, friends and the people of Niue for their prayers and support. The Premier looks forward to returning to Niue in a few weeks' time, and Honourable Poto Asipili is the acting Premier until Premier Talangi returns to the island. Niue's Legislative Assembly was in session yesterday despite a number of members who are currently overseas on medical referrals, meetings or personal matters. The first part of the meeting had some debate about anti-corruption workshops that were held specifically for parliamentarians this year, but it was the motions that generated some interesting discussions with proposals put forward to government for consideration. Common Role Member Tongia Sione Holo put forward a motion that government should look at offering some assistance to the family of the residents at Peta Hill in Alofi that burnt down recently. There was an overwhelming support and reasons given why the support is needed. The matter was put to a vote and 9 members voted in favour while 1 member abstained. Therefore, this motion was carried. The final decision, however, will be left to Cabinet. The other motion was presented by Alofi North member Vainga Tuitonga, asking the government to consider building a daycare centre or creche for our children who do not have anyone to care for them. That motion was also carried. The meeting concluded with announcements from the acting Premier, Honourable Poto Asipili, regarding the Premier's state of health, and the next Assembly meeting is expected to be held in May, where the national budget will be tabled. The multi-million-dollar Ridge to Reef project for Niue has been given the green light to proceed following the signing of the agreement at the United Nations Multi-Country Office in Apia, Samoa on Friday the 15th of April. The project, designed to strengthen Niue's capacity to create and manage protected marine and terrestrial conservation areas for biodiversity, was established in 2014 and will look to the collaboration between the Government of Niue and the community at large. Minister of the Ministry of Natural Resources, Honourable Billy Talangi, says that the government is very pleased with the progress of the project and congratulated all stakeholders who contributed towards getting Niue's proposal to the approval stage. Honourable Talangi also expressed his appreciation to the United Nations Development Programme, GEF, in New York, America, for the continued assistance for Niue. The Director General for the Ministry, Dr. Josie Tamate, said this is the largest project to be implemented under the Ministry of Natural Resources, worth $4.19 million US. She said strong cooperation from all key stakeholders and effective coordination will be required and to be sustained throughout the life of the project to achieve the desired outcomes. The project also reflects Niue's 2014 to 2019 National Strategic Plan. Descendants and families gathered in the early hours of Monday morning to mark their respects in ANZAC commemorations held at the National War Memorial in Alofi. The dawn parade involved members from the Niue Girls and Boys Brigade who were part of a march past with the Niue Police and the New Zealand Defence Force. 150 Niuean soldiers responded and took up the challenge in the First World War efforts that spanned from 1914 to 1918. The New Zealand High Commissioner, His Excellency Ross Arden, delivered his speech and was emotional towards the end, concluding that he was proud of the display of bravery and courage of those 150 soldiers.
Nobody can dispute the profound loss and the sadness left in the very wake of this conflict. So as we mark the 100th anniversary of commemorations for the Niuean troops returning to Niue, I hope we continue to remember that loss. For every mention of the Anzac spirit or the history of the landing, there sat a mother, a father, a sister, or a brother that has lost a family member. We could do well simply to remember that as we remember them.
The Niue High School World War I speech winner, Ms. Saraya Mangawa, delivered her heartwarming speech, Living a Life Less Ordinary. Ms. Mangawa has been confirmed to travel to Brussels and France in September this year as part of Niue's delegation to the World War I centenary commemorations. An additional part to the program, there was a candlelight vigil that had 150 candles lit and carefully placed around the cenotaph in Alofi. This was in remembrance of the 150 strong soldiers who sacrificed their lives for this country. This year also marks 100 years since the first lot of soldiers started returning back home, and celebrations or commemorations ended with a fundraising banquet at the Niue High School Multipurpose Hall. Health ministries all over the world are looking at ways to close the immunization gap as they roll out week-long campaigns. World Immunization Week is a global public health campaign to raise awareness and increase rates of immunization against vaccine-preventable diseases around the world. The World Health Organization estimates that active immunization can avert 2 to 3 million deaths each year, but infants worldwide are still missing out on basic vaccines. The Maternal Health Division at the Niue Hospital held a public presentation yesterday highlighting the benefits of immunization and breastfeeding. This is only one of the activities they have planned to highlight the importance of immunization for protection.
We have the Immunization Week program starting yesterday. I did a presentation about immunization in the waiting room at the hospital, and that was good. A lot of them were interested in that. And today we have the radio program, and we just elaborate more, same as what I have presented yesterday. Also tomorrow we have the walk. Everyone is invited to come and participate. The walk at the Niue Hospital at 5:30 tomorrow morning. Starting from the hospital down the Halamahanga bush track, coming back up Tapu Hill and back to Niue Hospital. Some underdeveloped countries, they're still fighting to eradicate some of these deadly diseases. This is why immunization is very important, and as we all know, we are a lot of us travel abroad, and we carry these diseases with us when we travel.
Inadequate immunization coverage rates often result from limited resources, competing health priorities, poor management of health systems, and inadequate surveillance. But Niue follows the same immunization regime as New Zealand that emphasizes the importance of getting the right immunization vaccines as prescribed.
So we start at birth, educate parents. So that's us in the health area. So that's our duty to inform them and let them know this is what's going to happen to when they have their babies, and also to parents, because the program starts from birth up until 11 years of age, and also to adults, because we have the yearly flu vaccine, and the one given at birth is they're covered for hepatitis B and BCG, tuberculosis. We know that in New Zealand we don't have, they're not giving BCG, so for mums that are actually having their babies in New Zealand, this vaccine is not given to them. But when they do come back, we do offer it. It's better to be safe than to be sorry. Get your child immunized on time. So that's the only message out there.
Immunization Week is an annual program, and the Health Division are encouraging people to be proactive in getting immunized as a preventative measure. New Year's activities will conclude with an early morning walk starting at the Newcastle Hospital tomorrow morning. Last week, over 50 students between the ages of 7 to 14 took up the challenge to swim, cycle and run in the Niue Junior Rockman. The Niue Junior Rockman is an event that was created to cater for young students that wanted to challenge themselves physically and prepare them to participate in events like the Rockman or Ride the Rock. Niue Tourism Events Organizer Maika Fuhinu says that the Niue Junior Rockman had an amazing response from the children as well as parents. There were 2 sections and 2 age categories to determine who the champions would be for the first Niue Junior Rockman. The Niue Junior Rockman champion for the girls 7 to 10 years old went to Miss Diana Randrole, second placing Gabrielle Tuhipa, and third Sally Beth Sionetama. As for the boys in the same category, in first place Chadson Siakimoto, second was Regan Jackson, and third Cullen Tupo. For the 11 to 14-year-old girls, winner went to Leilani Ikiua, second placing Moshina Jackson, and third to Sierra Sionetama. The Niue Junior Rockman for boys ages 11 to 14 went to Kefutoa Siatanga, second to his brother Richard Siatanga, and in third was Aruki Mongavalu. The overall winner and first ever Niue Junior Rockman went to Kefutoa Siatanga. The prize giving was held at the Niue Golf and Sports Club, and the Niue Junior Rockman will now be an annual event on the tourism calendar. That concludes our news bulletin for this evening. We do hope that you can join us for our next news bulletin next week. Do have an enjoyable weekend ahead.